Gojo can do
Hello?
whatever he tries.
Is it shown?
It's stated.
Okay, why is the statement true? Can you justify him having the ability to
It's
do
an
so?
author statement. It's from the infallible source of the author. The author is the
But
most.
do you think all author statements are true?
So I think all author statements are true. Obviously, if we apply something like definite author to an author statement, I guess it wouldn't be true. But I just say it's more credence that the statement is true since the
Okay,
author is
so what do you
the most
consider a definite
reliable
author
character.
to be? Because I can give
Huh?
you some instances where an author just isn't true. And
I
what I
mean,
mean by
nigga,
isn't
I
true,
never
what I
disagree
mean,
that the author
I'm gonna
can
just
be
talk over you
wrong.
now. So what I mean by, bro, shut up. So what I mean by examples, there are several times where an author it just isn't correct when it references their own narrative. Like for example, the Dragon Ball Daijinshi talks about how that other world is some sort of outer versal construct, but when we actually view the anime or the manga, nothing about that is even remotely relative or relates to to the data book.
Nigga, I never disagreed that an author can have false
Bro.
statements. When I ever say
Okay,
that?
if you don't disagree with that, what do you consider a death of the author to be then, bro?
Well, yeah, what I consider death of the author to be would be like, I guess death of the author would be like, what's a good example? If I guess if it the author makes a statement about the character outside of his work, right? It has no relation to his work whatsoever, and it's just completely contradictory, right, to his work. And if he makes a statement, it can be proven to be false with what's shown inside the narrative. That can be what's death of the author. Like for
Oh
example,
my
if,
god.
if the author goes on Fortnite and say, "Oh yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is above all of anime," obviously we can apply death of the author to there, as that statement would be wrong, as it's
Okay,
shown that
first, that's
Jujutsu
not what death of
Kaisen
the
is not
author
above all
is.
anime.
Secondly, the definition you're
Yes,
trying to
that
just
is what death of the
you're
author
just
is.
trying to make some sort of weird biased definition that you think that will fulfill your argument. I don't care to entertain
That's the
that.
denotation
What
of
I'm
death of the
simply
author.
questioning, bro. Can you shut up? What I'm simply
No,
questioning
I yeah, I
is
can't
why,
stop.
bro.
No,
Oh
I should
my
have done
god,
that.
shut up. Can you like really shut the fuck up? That's why.
I mean,
That's
like,
why,
damn, it's possible.
bro. Shut up. I'm saying it's possible an author can give actual full accounts of what they're talking about when in relation to the narrative, like obviously because that's just firsthand evidence, but outside of the narrative, why is that always true? Just because an author said it doesn't mean it's always true. Where's the proof of that? Because I just gave you examples where an author can still be considered to be
Oh,
reliable, but when we're in reference to things outside of the narrative, what their word just isn't always absolute or concrete. And again,
yeah,
remember,
okay, I
Kage, you listen,
never
Kage,
disagreed with that. You just keep on arguing.
stop,
You just keep on
stop,
arguing with something I don't
stop.
disagree with. There's no
I'm just
point.
gonna talk over you, bro.
You want to go
I'm
to
gonna turn off my
conclusions?
no
Do you want to
suppression
go to
system.
conclusions? Do you want to go to
Kage,
conclusions?
shut up.
Do you
I'm
want to go
not
to
done speaking.
conclusions?
Shut the
Do you
fuck
think
up.
you
Listen,
do you
Kage,
think you
if you
accurately
understand what I'm
responded
trying to
to my
say, I'm simply saying that yes, an author can still be in relation to the actual narrative itself. Just because he's in relation to the narrative doesn't mean his word is always true. Listen, remember, I tracked it specifically. You said it's always true or it's always the case that in every world, an author has to be right about what they're
Yeah, I
talking
never
about just
said
because
that.
they're an
When did I
author.
say that? When
I
did I say?
disagree with that.
When did
I'm
I say
simply
that? When
asking
did I
you,
say that? When did
why
I say
does the
that? When did I
statement
say that?
outside of the
When did I
narrative
say that?
correlate
I
or
never
map
said
onto
that. That never
reality
came out of my
when in
mouth. You just putting
reference
words in my
to the
mouth.
actual
You
verse?
guys
Call me
Because
can't
my
you
talk
can
over
argument,
each
perfectly
you
other.
retard.
possible
You have a
an
low
author
respect.
can simply
Careless,
be
he never
wrong
said that, by
in
the way.
relation to what they're talking about. So give a
Coomer tried to
response.
tell you something, retard, but you're over talking him. What'd you
I
say,
said, can you
All
Coomer?
right.
guys
So
stop
what's
over
your response
talking
to
each
the question?
other? And I was saying
What's
that
your
what you
response,
just
bro?
said, Kage said, never happened.
Exactly. I never said that. You're a retard.
Said what?
That when you tried to say, you just put words into my mouth. You tried saying that I said that the author is always right. I never said that.
You literally said that if it's in relation to the narrative, the author is always correct.
If it's in relation to the narrative, the author always correct. Never said
That's
that.
what you said. Am I wrong, Coomer? Is that not what he said?
I
My
said the
bad. My
author is
mute
the
button
most
doesn't work
reliable
sometimes.
source.
Yeah, he
You
was
said
saying
what?
when Kage was just simply saying that when it comes to the narrative, that the author would be the most like credible source. But I can't say
Yeah,
more
that's what I'm saying.
because
That's what
then
I'm
it'll
saying.
help you.
Wait, so why is okay? So why is this author specifically credible then,
What? Because he created the story, the most credible source in the story.
bro?
Obviously,
Bro. I already gave a
the
perfect
author would
argument.
know
I'm
more
saying,
about his
bro, can
work
you
than the
stop,
character.
bro? Like you just cut niggas off and you just jumped the gun. Let me finish. Let me finish clarifying what I'm asking you. I'm saying that in conjunction with the question, an author can just simply be wrong in relation to the narrative. I gave you an example about how an author can still be deemed to be reliable, still make the narrative, but when we're in reference to secondhand evidence, Why is secondhand evidence canonical or canon or actually maps onto reality in
What do
this
you mean
context?
secondhand evidence? What does that mean?
Okay, secondhand evidence is similar to saying this. Imagine someone first-handedly saw someone getting punched in the face. Then they told you a story about them getting punched in the face. Now, secondhand evidence isn't as reliable as first-hand evidence because the person could possibly twist what's going on or just not be right about not be right about what they're talking about. Obviously, like, yeah, sure. First-hand evidence is the most reliable form of evidence because in this case, you're seeing the evidence firsthand. There's no way it can be wrong. What are you talking about?
Okay,
So
the
I'm
author
just
would be
simply
the
asking you to justify
firsthand
why
source.
secondhand
Alright,
evidence,
would
or
you
maybe
agree or
thirdhand
disagree?
evidence in this
Oh
case.
my God, shut up, retard. Would you
Okay.
agree or disagree that the author would be a consider a firsthand account of the story since he's obviously writing the story?
I think the author can be considered to be that, but simply in relation to the first-hand evidence period. Like what I mean by what I mean by in relation to the first-hand evidence period is that we're not talking about the statements external to the narrative. We're talking about the statements inside of the narrative period. So I'm asking
Yeah,
you, why are
I
statements
believe this was a
external?
statement
Wait,
inside the narrative.
bro, can you stop? So
Are
I'm
you a
simply
retard?
asking you, why are the statements outside of the narrative canonical to the events in the first-hand evidence
You
or
want to
the
go to?
first
Do you want to go
source?
to conclusions? I don't think you attacked anything I
Okay,
said.
listen, I'm not making my point. I'm gonna make my point clear. Please shut the fuck up. Listen, what I want you to simply prove, this is your burden. I want you to justify how in every singular case that when the author says something, even if it's outside of the narrative, he's just going to be most likely correct. No, I disagree with that. I'm saying that there's also reason for why what I'm saying could also be the case. I'll give you an example to serve as motivation for possibility. I'm not just saying
Oh
possibilities
my
without having any
God.
proof behind them.
You're
I
so
specifically
retarded,
told,
Careless. Careless.
bro, can you shut
I
up,
never
bro?
said. Hold on, Careless. Listen. I never said the author is
I'm gonna keep.
always
I'm
going
just gonna
to
keep
be
talking over you, bro.
correct, even when it
I'm
comes
just
to
gonna keep talking
outside of
over you. I'm
narrative.
just gonna keep.
I
I'm
said
just
the
gonna keep talking
author
over
is
you.
most
If you think I
reliable
straw man the
character,
argument, that's
or the
fine, bro.
author
That's
is the
perfectly
most
fine. If you
reliable
think
source
I straw
since
man the
he's the
argument,
first-hand
that's
account
perfectly
or the
fine.
divine
If
source
your
of the
argument
narrative. He would
does
be
not
considered
fundamentally attack
infallible
what
and
I'm
the
questioning you,
unbiased source
I don't
within
care
the
to
narrative.
engage in it or
I
entertain
never
it.
said
I
anything what
specifically
you
made
said.
it clear,
You can go to
Kage,
conclusion. You
that
never
what I'm
attacked me.
putting in question is why evidence external to the narrative. I accept the fact the author can be reliable. I'm also giving you another instance where an author is reliable, but his word does not match or map onto reality. So my argument does have substance behind why it's true. Because again, if you were to watch Dragon Ball,
Yeah,
there's
oh my
nothing
God.
even
Just
remotely
because the
mentioning other
author
world
can be
even
wrong
being.
does not
What
mean
did
anything. I
Dazinchu say
never
before?
said the author
So
can't be
that's
wrong. You
retarded,
want to go to
bro.
conclusions?
That's fucking
Do you want to go to
stupid.
conclusions? Do you
So
want to go to
again,
conclusions? Do you want to go to
even
conclusions?
if the author is reliable,
Let's go to conclusion
why does him being
and
reliable
conclusion.
means
Let's go to
evidence
conclusion.
external
Let's go
to
to
the
conclusion.
first-hand evidence
Let's go to
means that
conclusion.
it's
Let's
true.
go to
The
conclusion.
author can be
Let's go to
reliable.
conclusion.
It doesn't mean
Let's
he's
go to
reliable
conclusion.
enough for his
Let's go to
second-hand
conclusion.
statements to always map
Let's
onto
go to
reality.
conclusion.
He could just be
Let's
making
conclude on
statements.
this point.
You
Let's
could
conclude
just
on.
be
Okay, let's
misinterpreting the
conclude
statement
on
and
the
just
point.
exaggerating what it's saying.
If
When they're talking about
oh
anything,
my
why do you think it means anything in relation to what you think anything
nigga.
means? Yes, let's conclude.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna conclude on this entire point.
Yes, yes, we're gonna
Okay,
conclude. We're
hold on.
gonna conclude
Tell me, do you
off of
need
every
conclusions? Do
single
you
point
really
I
need
made
conclusions?
too.
This is like simple.
Wait, hold on, Kage. So do you want to conclude off of every point I gave to you?
Yeah, every
Oh, okay,
point.
bet. Okay, bet. Say
And
that.
by the way, points that I won't be taking into account of points that I didn't hear.
No, that's not what you agreed to. You agreed to go
No,
into
no, I won't be
conclusions on
taking
us.
account of
No,
every
no, no,
point
no, no,
that
no, no, no.
I
Listen,
won't be
listen,
taking
listen,
into
listen,
account of
listen.
points that I
I
didn't
don't care
hear.
for that. It's not my
I
fault.
don't
You
care. I
don't want
don't
to
care. I'm not
engage in an
taking into account
argument.
of that.
I gave an
I'm not
argument. You
taking into
cut
account.
me off every single time I was making an argument. It's
Yeah,
not my
sure. I
fault.
don't care. I don't really care. I'm not taking into
Okay,
account
I
of
don't
points that I
care
didn't
to
hear.
conclude off of that like
Okay,
that.
okay.
Then I
I'm
gave several
concluding.
points.
What I'm concluding on is all the points that I believe I addressed and that I hear and that I heard.
So, do you believe you addressed the last point I made?
The last point being,
You're
Oh
retarded.
my god. The
what's the
last
last
First
point?
point
hand
talking
versus
about
second hand evidence.
Oh yeah, I think I
secondhand
addressed that. Come
evidence.
on, yeah, we can move on.
Okay, so who won? Do you need
I need,
conclusions?
yeah, I need to hear specifically how Kage addressed the first hand versus second hand evidence.
Okay, go ahead, Kage.
Yeah, the first hand and second hand evidence where you have to say like, oh, there can be a first hand case, etc., etc. Where was it? Yo, if I'm correct, the first hand point was about like
Oh my God, I can re-explain the point. Listen, the first-hand evidence point was just talking about the original source. The second-hand evidence, well, it's still the same point, but the second-hand evidence is what is like the external statement that you were appealing to. I was accepting the fact that the author can be reliable.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just gave you, yeah, listen, hold on. I just gave you instances where an author is reliable, but his word does not always map onto reality. It's perfectly possible an author can be reliable, but when in relation to the first-hand evidence may not go by what the second evidence is talking about. That's
yeah,
all I said.
yeah. I just posited that the author would inherently be the first hand evidence within the series, right? As or the first hand account in the series, and right, and like let's say for
It's not. That's not
example,
the only point I made too. By the way,
yeah, anyways, in relation to the second half, okay, yeah, like let's say for example, right, there would be okay, I wrote a story, right, and within this story, um I have a character named Jones, and Jones punched a nigger in his face. And the evidence, and I state that Jones punched a nigger in his face in the story, right? I'll be the first hand account, the most I'll be unfallible, right? I am the most
oh my
reliable
God,
account within the series out of all the characters. I would be a first hand account, and then he's trying to say, oh, that doesn't have to matter. That statement could be unreliable, blah blah blah, because it doesn't have to,
my
because it
God.
doesn't actually have to happen within the series, etc. etc. He's I mean, I don't really know. Like, what are you trying to say with this? Like, what is this
You're
leading
so
to?
retarded. And I
Like, he
gave a
just
second. I,
explained it
I
so
I also
weirdly.
said something too. I said something you never wanted to. I said that the scans could just exaggerate and the proposition you made like initially doesn't actually have to map on with what the scan is talking about. But that's not even the reason why I think you lost. Listen, you can't fucking track. You're just so stupid. When I was talking about secondhand and firsthand evidence, I'm saying that the instances and the examples you can give that relate to firsthand evidence is just talking about the narrative. You fail to prove that the secondhand evidence is reliable and true. You're not
Wait,
Wait,
can
doing
he
that.
I
thinks,
can
hold
I
on, hold
wait?
on.
Can I
He thinks
talk
it's
now?
secondhand evidence when I'm
I
really
heard
literally referring
no,
Yes,
to
I heard
you
both
all
are.
the
You
sides.
all
are.
I
the
heard
Carter.
both
firsthand
sides. Can I
evidence.
talk?
Yes.
All right, how I understand Keller's point, right, is that the author would be the first-hand account, quote quote, right? But the author can show like evidence in two different ways: the first-hand evidence way and the second-hand evidence way. The author can show first-hand evidence with the example that he gave of somebody getting punched in the face, and then the author can give second-hand evidence in a way of somebody saying he got punched in the face. So
Exactly.
based off of that analogy and example, and like overall, I think Careless won that point.
Okay. So we
Oh,
can
wait,
move
hold
on.
on. About
What?
that, the
No, we're
author.
not doing
Yeah,
this.
hold
We're
on, wait,
not.
shut up, retard. I'm trying to
We're
explain something.
not doing this, bro.
Yeah,
You do this
yeah,
every
I'm
fucking
low-key meeting
point.
careless. I'm low-key meeting
Just
careless.
move on.
And
Like,
you're
bro,
being
Coomer,
toxic.
am I
Fuck ass
wrong?
nigga. Fuck up,
Coomer,
dumbass.
Coomer, Coomer,
Isn't this
No,
you in
I
chat?
agree with you.
Nigga.
Coomer,
I
am
think
I
it was
wrong,
pretty,
bro?
like, unfortunately, I think it's pretty blatant that you won this point. Because
Thank you.
Kage just misunderstood about what you meant by firsthand. When you're saying firsthand evidence, he thought, all right, the author's firsthand evidence, and like another character within a manga would be a secondhand evidence source, right? But that wasn't
Yeah.
really your point. Your point was the author's a first-hand account, and he can give evidence in two different ways. He can show it on panel, which is like somebody getting punched in the face, that's firsthand evidence, or
Yes.
he can just relate it to you via information, which would be the secondhand evidence
Yeah,
way.
okay,
Exactly.
okay, and I never disagreed with that. Like that point
So
Yeah,
you
doesn't
you
matter.
lost
did.
that.
You lost.
If you don't disagree with
I,
that, then you lost that.
yeah,
You
how?
lost because of a
Wait,
misunderstanding.
how did I lose if I disagree that the
You
author?
just agreed to it.
You
Wait,
literally
hold
just
on.
agreed to
Oh my
Carel's
god, shut
point.
up.
That's his
How
point,
would,
and
oh
you
my
said
god.
you don't disagree with it.
Oh my god, yeah, I don't
This nigga
disagree
keep
that the author.
losing.
Oh, can you shut
This
up?
nigga's so ass.
Right, right. So let me
I'm
make
not
it
doing this.
concise for
I'm
you,
not
right?
doing this. You're so
Wait, no, no.
retarded, bro.
Let me just
Like
make it
he's
concise for
so
you, right?
fucking.
You're presenting that this character can do anything he wants, as long as he puts his mind to it, right? And basically, Carel's is like, all right, who said it? And you're like the author. The author should be the most reliable source. Carel's he doesn't necessarily disagree with that. It just depends how the evidence is portrayed. Is it first hand or second hand? Is it literally shown Gojo
Okay,
can do
okay.
anything he wants,
I
or is it
never.
told to
Hold on.
us?
I
If
never
it's told
disagreed
to
that it.
us, then it'd be an equal interpretation
Yeah,
because
I
you
never
gave no more merit to
disagreed.
your
I
point.
never. Hold on, but wait, hold on. Chill. I
be able to deprive from matter. Basically, my argument is going to be that basically consciousness will just have the essential. It has the essential attribute of basically intentionality. Intentionality is basically your directness upon something. Your consciousness is basically always directed upon something and not nothing.
Okay, can you put it in a syllabic format with
Sure. I'll go about
premise,
it.
conclusion, and the inference rule?
Sure. Well, honestly, I'm not gonna type it out because think I have to, but I'll go like this.
You can
P1
just
consciousness would
utter
basically
it.
just have attribute. Yes, I want to do. Basically, all right. So basically, P1 consciousness basically have the essential attribute of holy consciousness basically has the essential attribute of intentionality. Intentionality being your directness upon something, and the reason for why I'm saying that it would have what's it called intentionality, basically because essential attribute is simply because phenomenological analysis shows that consciousness is inherently directed upon something else. It's always about something.
Wait,
So
you think contradictions in it? Okay, I don't really care for like this realistic part. What's it called? Do you think if what I heard you said contradictions inherently are directed upon something?
consciousness?
No, I thought you said consciousness. You think consciousness is directed upon something?
Yes, I think it has
Yeah,
intentionality.
directed upon what? Directed upon intentionality. So I'm just gonna give an
I'm
argument on
not
why I
attacking my
think.
argument. I'm not saying it's directed upon intentionality. I'm saying that consciousness has the essential attribute of intentionality.
Yeah, I think the attribute of intentionality doesn't necessarily exist. What do you think intentionality is?
It should already said it multiple times. It should direct us upon something. Phenomenological
Directed
analysis
upon
supports that.
something. Like the
Phenomenology analysis supports that said thing. What?
It's presupposing phenomenology isn't circular. So what's the argument?
Wait, how is it circular? You're claiming that it's
How is
circular.
it circular? Towards my epistemics, it's circular. Therefore,
Wait,
everything.
say it again.
Therefore,
Say that part again.
it's usually considered inductive.
Say that part again.
Yeah, towards every. But when I looked at phenomenology, 95% of it is circular. Phenomenology
Wait, you
is
show me which part. You said
towards my
99% is
epistemics.
circular.
I'm
Can
using some sort of
you
inductive.
show me where it's circular? Can you show me where phenomenology is
Yeah,
circular? What's the
yeah.
analysis part of it
What do you
wrong?
think something circular is?
I was just something that's like repeating over again.
Yeah. So, sure. I'm not.
So I don't see how circles are defeated, but can you show me that? Like actually, I don't remember when I studied phenomenology as what's it called.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, anybody here?
Also, this isn't a contention towards you, bro. Actually, no, because you're trying to tell it doesn't exist, which is kind of retarded. But yeah, kind of want to see that. Oh,
Yeah.
you're back, Mike's bathroom. You're back, Mike's bathroom. Give me a second.
What the fuck is this topic, bro? I don't even do this shit. What was it called? I was gonna say like it repeats the word phenomena over and over. So it must be circular.
Yep.
You sound fat. Turn off your voice changer, fatty.
You guys are wishing, yo.
Yes, you do. Or at least a talking set.
I've quite literally.
Holy
looking at my
shit!
phone, bro.
Nice stutter, kid. But anyways.
Yeah, Japan. I'm gonna send you an argument.
You're a troll.
I'm just gonna send you like a sequence of
I know
questions
I'm
to ask him, to which he's like never able to justify.
so what?
I'm just gonna send you a sequence of questions,
I'm back.
and when he,
Where are you going to
be quiet. We're not asking you.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got you.
Yeah, I heard,
Anyway,
I heard you, man.
Repeat
So
this.
it just
Just keep
repeats.
repeating these questions.
Yeah. Alright, yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So. Oh, there you go. It just repeats the word female over and over and over again, so it must be circular.
Circular is chronological, which is what it is. It's a study of
Yeah, I got a
consciousness
question.
of mind. So
How do we gain knowledge about the thing that you're in reference towards?
by studying the mind.
Yeah, and when we say studying, how can we just study something immaterial?
How can we study something that's immaterial? Basically my argument is that basically it's going against our physical. Basically just saying that like consciousness can't be deprived from
No.
matter.
Yeah,
So just
justify that.
that's my conclusion of the argument.
What's the what?
Say,
I think consciousness is physical. You want me to give an argument?
I already gave my argument how it can't be deprived from matter.
Yeah, and I think
argument.
consciousness. I don't think matter is something
Hold on.
physical. Wait, calm down, Bateson. Calm down, Bateson.
No,
I wasn't done.
we're on the point. You're saying that
No.
consciousness
No. Speaking. I'm speaking.
You think that's something? You think that's something that's
Yeah.
direct?
Still, calm down. Calm down.
But overall, you're
Calm
trying
down.
to say that
I think the word when we say
overall, yeah.
just to be,
So
are you fucking?
consciousness
You
has
obviously have something
intentionality. It
important
can't
to
have
say to the
intention. It should
class,
just be
so
physical.
just keep going.
So that's kind of
Just keep
retarded.
going. You obviously have something important to say to the class, so keep going.
Keep going.
Are you done?
where you would
Thank
just,
you.
like, for
Because
instance, I
what
give
you just
arguments
said
for
just
launching
kept
that
on interrupting my point.
that
Nice whole
the mind
eye
would just
let's
be
kid.
so
What's that called?
consciousness has
Are you you're still
overall
going? You're still
intentionality.
going. Okay. You done?
Why you guys debate like this?
Yeah, so just to be clear, I think the when what's it called? Matter and physical can differentiate completely, you know that, right?
Like, are they? You saying they're distinct?
Yeah, no, I said there's a big semantic distinction because something that doesn't have matter could also be something that doesn't have matter could also be physical as well. I guess.
That's fine.
Yeah, so
Which I
therefore the
don't think.
conscious.
Wait, what you're referring to?
So I
For you
think
saying
my
that
wait, calm down. I
that can
think
be
wait,
physical.
calm down.
You're
Wait,
saying
calm
that something
down.
can be
Calm
physical
down.
and not
Calm
like
down,
have
bitch. Hey,
matter.
hey, hey,
That's
up there.
100% fine. It's just that I don't think that such thing could
Be
have
quiet. Good,
consciousness from it. For humans, we're made of
yeah,
matter,
yeah,
but we just
yeah.
consciousness
Be
doesn't
quiet.
come from our
Yeah,
matter
be quiet.
or our physical matter, meaning the person that said thing, or our extension of it, for
Done?
example.
Are you fucking done? Okay, because I think my definition is physical, just gonna be encompassing space. Obviously, the body must encompass. Who the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
is
fine. That's
texting me?
extension.
Obviously, the body is
Yeah,
gonna
Yo,
be
bro, blow
encompassing
your
space.
nose.
Therefore, the mind, spirit, and everything about the body must be physical. You have any contention?
that's not true. That's not true because I already went over how if the consciousness has
Yeah,
intentionality,
yeah. I
then
already
it wouldn't
gave.
have extension.
I already
Doesn't make
gave a
sense.
refutatory value to skit.
You
So
didn't. You didn't at all. You can conclude actually. Somebody say the part. Oh wait, actually, were you listening, YDN or Arthur guys? Were you listening?
Nah, I
Not
wasn't
sure.
listening, bro.
All right, say the right because if you disagree, we can have somebody